Hi, I'm Rex with Pure Choice Motorsports. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about cutting braided stainless Teflon hose and AQP hose. I've got examples of each here. The smaller hose is a -6 braided stainless Teflon lined hose. The bigger hose is a little more flexible. This is a braided stainless AQP hose. We use both of these hoses in our kits, so I want to show you the proper method that we prefer to cut these hoses. So, first of all, some folks call it the wheel of death. Some folks call it a Ziz wheel. It's an abrasive cutoff saw. It's a wonderful tool. It is a horrible tool to cut hose with. Because it's abrasive, it leaves all manner of debris inside the hose that's very difficult to get back out. And the last thing you want to do is contaminate whatever system you're working on with debris. So I'm going to show you this, but then we're going to get rid of it. Don't ever use this to cut hose. Great tool, just not a great tool for hose. So I'm going to set that back here. I'm going to show you some other options for cutting hose. These are shears, handheld shears. We use these here in the shop a lot of times. If we have a big spool at the far end of the shop and I need 6 feet of hose, I'll carry this to the far end of the shop. I'll cut my hose with this guy, and then I'll bring my 6-foot piece back here to the bench to work. This hose cutter works very well. Another method that works very well for braided stainless hose is a Beverly shear. That's this guy right here. We use this at the bench. This is my preferred method for cutting the hose. Not everybody has a Beverly shear. Not everybody has a pair of bypass shears like so. It can be cut with a hacksaw. So I'm going to show you how to go through that process with a hacksaw. I'm going to take some electrical tape. If I can find the end of it, that's always the challenge. And I'm going to tape up the hose where I want to make a cut. I'm actually going to do this 3 different places. So I'm going to show you the 3 different methods that we use to cut hose. So I'm just wrapping it tightly around the hose. There's once. Find the end again, the elusive tape end. And I'm going to tape another section here because we're going to actually cut this 3 different times. And this is the AQP hose. You can see that it's much more flexible than the Teflon hose. The Teflon hose, even though this hose is a smaller OD, it's much stiffer. The liner in it is much stiffer. So I'm going to cut both hoses for you today. 3 different methods, all of which will work just fine. Again, the Beverly shear is our preferred method here. So I've got 3 wraps of tape on that hose, on the AQP hose, and now I'm going to put 3 sections of wrap on the Teflon hose. And I'm just going around there nice and tight, about 1 thickness of tape. There we go, there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. So let's start with the best first, which in my opinion is the Beverly shear. I'm going to, if you'll bring the camera over, I'm going to place open the Beverly shear jaws open. I'm going to place this is the braided stainless with the Teflon liner. I'm going to place it into the Beverly shear, and I'm simply going to pull down and cut that hose. Nice, neat, clean cut. That's on the Teflon. We're going to do the same thing with the AQP hose. And this is a little softer, but it cuts a nice clean cut. Second best method, if you don't have a Beverly shear, this is a little more expensive than these guys. I'm going to cut the Teflon hose with our handheld shears. Nice clean cut. This is the AQP hose. Nice clean cut. That's my preferred. These two are my preferred method. It can also be cut with a hacksaw, and I'm going to show you that next. So I'm going to put this piece of hose in the vise. I'm going to put the tape close to the end of the vise so it'll support it. I have a regular hacksaw. Here's the trick. Brand new 32 tooth hacksaw blade. It's not a used hacksaw blade. It's not a 18 tooth per inch. It's 32 teeth per inch. It's new. I'll never use this hacksaw blade for anything other than braided stainless hose. If you use it for something else, you've probably ruined the blade for this purpose. So buy yourself a 32 tooth hacksaw blade. Use it only for braided stainless hose. You can mark on it that it's for stainless, mark down here at the end so that if you mark in the center, you're going to wear the paint off. But if you mark it on the end that it's for stainless steel hose, it'll last you a really long time for this application. So I've got my hose in the vise. I've got it pinched reasonably snug in there. And I'm just going to saw where my tape is. And I have a nice smooth cut. I do have a couple of stragglers there. So I'm going to take my side cutters. I'm going to clean up those loose wires with my side cutters. I don't want to be poked by the wires, and I need a nice straight clean cut around there. So I'm just kind of cleaning up that edge with my side cutters. Let's cut the Teflon hose as well. Same process. Take the AQP hose out of the vise. I'm going to put the Teflon hose in the vise. I'm going to squish it just a little bit so that it holds it firmly, and I'm going to saw. Like I said, this hacksaw blade will last you a really long time. Only use it for the braided stainless hose. Don't use it for any other purpose. The last thing I would do if this is a hose that I'm going to use, with the saw, I'm going to get some debris inside the hose. Nowhere near the volume of debris that I would get with the cutoff wheel. And the debris from the cutoff wheel is going to be hot as it comes off of there, so it's going to try to weld itself inside the hose. That's one reason we never use the abrasive cutoff wheel to cut the hose. But so showing you three different methods for cutting. Again, hacksaw works just fine. The shears are a little easier, a little better. They're also portable. The Beverly shear mounted to your bench is our preferred method for cutting hose here while we're making assemblies. So the hose that I just showed you, you'll see that hose in several of our Pure Choice kits. We use braided stainless Teflon hose. Will be in our power steering hose kits. We use it on all of our transmission cooler hose kits, as well as our fuel line hose kits. The AQP hose, primarily we use that as a return hose on our power steering kits. So you can run across both of these products through our product line, and at times you will need to cut them. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you with that, and thanks for joining us today.